Howdy, folks. I'm Jumpy, Jubilant Jupiter, jousting, jeering jackals.
I'm Amber.
And all I can say is these must be very, very large jackals to joust Jupiter. And here's some Reddit. Alright, folks, our first letter is titled, Am I a Jerk for Giving My Daughter's Kitten Away While She Was Gone? I'm a 33-year-old female, and I have a daughter who is a 14-year-old female who goes to her dad's house on weekends. We recently took in a group of stray kittens and their mother, and we kept them for about a month. I'm allergic to cats, but not severely, so we kept the cats in the bathroom, laundry room, or my daughter's bedroom. I told my daughter that we were going to have to give away the cats because I am allergic. She asked if she could keep one if it stayed in her bedroom, and she only let out the kitten into the rest of the house while I was at work. I work from 7 and she gets home from school at 2. So the cats would spend a good amount of time out in the room. I told her that she could keep one of them and she was happy. The next morning, my daughter went to her dad's house and I took all of the kittens to a woman who took them in. When my daughter got back and asked where her cat was, I told her that I gave them all away. My daughter is extremely upset with me and told me that I shouldn't have told her that she should keep one if I was going to give them away. I told her that I said that so that she wouldn't be upset all weekend long when she was at her father's. Because when she's sad, she doesn't want to talk to anyone and she only sees her dad's on weekends. She said that it didn't matter and that I shouldn't have gotten her hopes up since she's wanted a kitten since she was 2. I don't think that I did anything wrong, but I want others' opinions. Am I the jerk for giving a cat away? Edit, I'm going to take my daughter to the shelter tomorrow and let her pick out a cat. I've already apologized to her, and she said it's fine, but I'm still going to work hard on making sure she feels like she can trust me again. Alright, folks, what do you think? Jerk or not the jerk?
Yeah, I think you were the jerk with what you did. I'm glad that you've seen the error in your ways, but yeah, that was a pretty cruel thing to do, to get her hopes up and then dash them like that.
Yeah.
And it does break her trust. It shows her that you are not someone who she can rely on.
Yeah, and I mean, I think that this, getting her the kitten is going to go a long way towards repairing that trust. And I think in this particular case that I feel like OP had good intentions, but they went about this in the absolute worst possible way.
Well, you know what the old expression goes, the road to hell is paved with...
Well, yeah, and that's exactly what I'm saying here, is that this was, as she may have had the best intentions in the world, but still what she did was not a very good thing. But it sounds like she's trying to work hard at repairing that trust, and I think that's actually a really good positive step. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. Alright folks, our next letter is titled, My Dad Abandoned Me, but now he wants me to help out his new family. I'm a 19-year-old female, and I never had a dad in my life. He would pop up once every 5 years and act like a super dad. He lied to my cousins and mom, telling her that he paid for my prom. I didn't even go to prom. And he paid for my senior dues, etc. My dad doesn't know anything about me or what I'm interested in. When I was around 16, my grandmother told me that my dad had a new girlfriend and he wants me to meet her kids. I laughed and refused because I'm tired of being disappointed and hurt over someone who clearly doesn't want me. My brother, an 18-year-old male, thinks that I should reconsider. His mom and our dad both raised him. I told him that our dad was actually a father to him, but not to me, and I'm not about to be around his 3 daughters when he didn't even raise his first child. My dad called me from my grandma's phone one day, panicking about how his daughter's birthday cake got ruined. I have a small business where I sell desserts and other things like that. He wanted me to bake a 3-tier cake with floral designs and her favorite chocolate on top. I laughed at him and asked him why I would do that. His exact words were, "You make cakes for strangers, but you can't help out your sister." I told him that she's not even my sister, and not to talk to me again because I finally got to a place where I shut off all of my emotions and I don't care anymore. I told him that he made me this way and I can't let anyone in because of him. My brother called me asking me what happened because Anna, my supposed sister, called him crying. I told him what I said, and he told me that our dad lied and exaggerated what I said. I'm not cruel, nor do I have a problem with his kids, but they aren't family, and I'm not doing any favors for anyone I don't care for. My grandmother called me saying that I am a jerk, and I finally snapped, and I let out years of hurt and disappointment in a group chat with her and my dad and brother. She said that nothing I was saying was true, and that my dad was a great dad. My brother spoke up for me and said that he wasn't going to talk to her anymore because she's delusional and talked bad about me. My brother's girlfriend and dad's girlfriend called me, snapping on me, saying that I ruined her family and I'm trying to mess up my brother and grandmother's bond. My brother still loves our grandmother. He just doesn't like how she's acting towards me because of her own son's actions. Me and my brother went out and we had a long talk about how we both feel, and I really opened up about our dad and he finally understood. We never talked about my dad, and he thought that my dad was around more and apologized. My dad expected me to make the cake for free and decorate it how she wanted. Watch her little sister, 7, while making a cake so Anna and her mom could get her nails done, and I would be coming to the party and still getting her a gift on top of the free cake. I don't know what delusion they live in, and I felt like I wasn't wrong, but everyone is calling me and making it seem like I'm a jerk. The only one who isn't making a big deal about it is Alea, a 19-year-old female, Anna's older sister. I love my brother and will always talk to him, but am I wrong for cutting off my grandmother and not doing an unpaid favor for my dad's stepdaughter? All right, folks, what do you think?
Not the jerk. I mean, that's just exploitation, plain and simple. This man has not been a father to you, and he only wants you around when you are able to serve his needs.
Yeah, fair weather family. And I think that's what this boils down to. I think that OP, you're not obligated to bake a cake for complete strangers. These people aren't your family. You don't consider them family. And it doesn't matter if they want to be part of your lives. You are able to make your own decision about who you want in your life.
Yeah, well, and even if this was someone you were on good terms with, the appropriate thing is still to compensate you for your hard work.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes people will have arrangements where like, oh, well, I make cakes and I do electrical stuff and swap off, but there should be some kind of compensation for your labor. Expecting you then to like babysit while you're making a cake and then like buying a gift and everything, this is just so absurd. I just don't know, like you said, where your dad is coming from to think that that's remotely acceptable.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Loud Engineer 4348 says, you were more than justified in your action. Rest easy. And Stud Muffin Nick says, yeah, I doubt that there was even a ruined cake, and the dad was just lying to get a free cake. Then, like my narcissistic mother-in-law has done, tried turning every other family member on me for something completely justified. You know, that's a good point. I wouldn't be surprised either. And LYSI85 says, how about blocking their numbers and just getting rid of them? And Beach Bum 8 says, I second this. If you see a blocked number or numbers that you don't recognize calling you, let it go to voicemail. Your dad sounds like a major jerk, and good for you for standing up for yourself. Alright folks, our next letter is titled, I'm a 28-year-old female, and my boyfriend, a 28-year-old male, thinks that my boobs fill with blood before my period. I don't think that I need to say much else. I tried to explain to him that it's just my milk duct swelling, but he said that until I prove him wrong, he won't change his mind. I didn't really want the almighty Google to have something to the effect of, do my boobs swell with blood before my period in my history, but alas, here we are. I found evidence to support the milk duct thing, but he said because I couldn't find an article that explicitly says that my boobs don't fill with blood, he doesn't accept it. I just don't know how to get this through to him. Alright folks, what do you think of this story here?
Maybe just dump him. I don't know. Like, this just seems like such a weird thing to hold on to. Like, of course, the articles don't say your boobs fill with blood. They also don't say your boobs fill with Coca-Cola.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think that's a good point here, is that OP, you could say, well, prove that they don't fill with X, Y, or Z type of thing, right? And I don't know if this is a dumpable offense, but he's sure trying to mansplain how your periods work and how your body works when he has no idea.
Like, I mean, if he's this hell-bent on it and you want to still work things out with him, drag him along next time you go to the doctor and just be like, hey, doctor, by the way, my boyfriend thinks that my boobs fill with blood on my period. Can you explain this to him?
Yeah, and there's one thing to be ignorant of stuff. Like we're all going to be ignorant every now and again. We're all going to have misconceptions, and we're all going to have things that we just don't know. But the important thing is that when somebody shows you the right information and the evidence to support that, that you take that into consideration and reframe how you view the world. So again, like, I don't blame him for not knowing something, but I do blame him for how he's reacting once he finds out that he was wrong.
Well, that's the thing, and that's the thing that gives me concerns about the relationship as a whole, is that he is willing to die on this hill and be like, no, I know more about your body than you do. Nothing you show me will change my mind. Yeah. And it makes me wonder if that he's like that with anything else.
Yeah, and he could very well be. I mean, this might just be the first of many, many incidents of similar things.
And this is just the one where it rises to a level of absurdity, because he could be wrong about a lot of things, but they sound convincing.
Yeah. But let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. And Matata Kakiba says, tell him that your boobs fill up with pina colada. And since there aren't any articles on the internet which state the woman's boobs in fact do not ever fill up with pina colada, that this is just a fact and he needs to accept it. Right in the vein of what Amber was saying.
Yes, we're on the same wavelength.
Yeah, and OP replies, 100%, this is the correct answer. This is amazing. I actually think that's going to be a really good way of approaching this situation. And Acrobat Moist 3118 says, why do you care what he believes in? I would tell his friends they will clear the situation for you by making fun of him for the next decade. I mean, come on. How can you believe such nonsense? And OP replies, right, he has never brought this up with them, even in passing. How has this man lived for 28 years with this little nugget of ridiculousness in his head? Well, like I said, everyone's going to have misconceptions. All right, folks, our last story is an update. So a couple days ago, we had a story about a pair of grandparents that came along and kidnapped OP's child. And here is an update to that one. Post got removed, but let me explain the basics. My abusive ex Mike, who groomed and pursued a intimate relationship with me when I was 15 and he was 27, has a daughter with me that he doesn't see, nor has ever talked to, because he gave up custody and refuses to pay child support. His parents took my daughter out while she was biking and I called the cops on them. I would like to say thank you so much to everyone on the post who was so kind to me. You all are so sweet and kind, and it makes my heart melt. Well, I filed a police report, and Mike's parents are in jail. Mike is now trying to get custody of Anna, and is getting a fancy schmancy lawyer from his job. He works as a lawyer himself. And no, I don't live in Brazil. I'm Brazilian-American, though. 1/2 Afro-Brazilian, 1/4 Japanese, and 1/4 Hria, indigenous Brazilian tribe. I grew up there in Bahia until I was 13. His family are in shock now because they didn't know about any of this and apologized and gave 2 big old middle fingers to Dave and Susan. Mike is now trying to get back together and said that he wants a relationship with his daughter now. I said no, and I'm being anti-Semitic because he's Russian Jew. BS, Dave and Susan were super racist to me when they met me when I was 17. They knew and did not care that their son was a borderline child abuser. Love you all, and I'll update on what happens next. All right, folks, what do you think of that update?
I just feel so bad for a poor OP. I hope everything goes your way. This man sounds like a very, very bad man, and his parents sound like bad people as well.
Yeah.
And they do not deserve to have access to your child.
Yeah, I mean, who does this? I think that this is good that OP was able to escalate the situation. It sounds like their son has plenty of money, so he's going to be able to afford them good law help and whatnot. So I don't think they're in too much danger or anything like that, but maybe they should be.
Yeah, well, they're just, this is so gross, and I just hope his money doesn't get him anywhere, because he's an abuser, and he should not be. He's only doing this to hurt OP.
Yeah.
And that's what abusers do. They will use children as pawns to hurt and manipulate people.
Yeah, well, and I hope that this actually backfires on him when he takes it to court, because judges will generally look at the whole picture and see that, oh, he's never paid child support, he's never done this or that.
Well, and if he actually legally signed away his parental rights,
Yeah.
then he's not even legally recognized as a parent.
Yeah, but let me know what you folks think. So anyhow, take care and good luck. All right, folks, it is tea time. Grab your beverages of choice. I've got a beverage of choice right here. And Amber, she's got a joke of choice, and it's about choices.
Not really. Built of metal or wood to divide. It will make us good neighbors if you stay on your side. What is it?
I can tell you exactly what's made of wood or metal and divides two neighbors. A rocket ship. I mean, that's the only thing that could fit between two houses. And that's what you would keep your neighbors out of your lawn, is the rocket ship. They would see your rocket ship and they'd be like, no. And so that seems like a pretty reasonable answer to me.
Are you Sandy Cheeks by any chance?
I might be.
The answer was a fence.
A fence? Who would use a fence to keep their neighbors out of their yard? We use science. And I have licorice spice. Alright, folks, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. Happy Tuesday, spelled T-W-O. Oh my goodness, we're making our way... Wait, yes, it's Tuesday. We're making our way through the week. Amber, we need some kind of moral advice and or guidance, and please have it a slogan about crime.
There's no excuse for domestic abuse or kidnapping children.
Oh, I like that. I like that. Mine was, don't do the crime if you can't pay the time.
Yeah, that was what came to my head too, but I was like, that's said too much, so I need something different.
Yes, Amber did a very good job there. Thanks so much for watching, and we will see you all tomorrow.
Bye! Oh, and let us know in the comments what your boobs fill with. Ghosts.